All right. Thank you everyone for joining our Sunday night Thrive Life Zoom. We really wanted to create our own little community where we can come together and support each other and love on each other. And tonight we have some super special guests. The Tidwells are in the house. I met Hugh and Tommy in Jamaica when I went with my friend April. And to be really honest, we met late night at a pool bar. So I don't remember everything we talked about, but I remember their energy and they're so freaking cool. I'm so excited for you guys to get to hear their story. The growth that they have seen in the last couple of months is about to blow your mind. I'm just going to let them share their story, introduce themselves, but I think you're all going to have your mind blown. So I'm just going to go ahead and mute myself, you guys, and go ahead and share away. And thank you for taking time out of your Sunday night to do this with us.
It's no problem at all. So you're going to see we're on two different screens. He's upstairs, I'm downstairs, because our internet for some reason has been so like janky since like the kids have been out of school and everything. So we have found that the only way we don't break up is if we're separated in two separate rooms on our phones. So this is how we're doing it. So I'll just go quickly. My story is kind of long, but I'll go quickly through my story on how I found Thrive. At the time, of course, I was tired mama. I have 4 kids. I live in Ackworth, Georgia. Well, we live in Ackworth, Georgia. At the time, my kids were a little bit smaller. I was head team mom of for the program out here in Ackworth, and I worked full time for a very busy doctor's office. I run the front office for a doctor's office or whatever. And so we went away for Thanksgiving for a football tournament, and I met this other we met another family. And we soon found out that we lived right across the street from each other in subdivisions, both on corner homes, right in the front of the subdivision. And we moved to Ackworth the same year, and we had just met. It had been like we've been in Ackworth, I think, 4 years, and so they were from California and we were from Jersey, and so we decided to do Christmas together. So they came over for Christmas, and the mom had on the DFT. I asked her what it was. She just said, Thrive, you want to try it? I was like, oh, sure. What is it? And she said, oh, it's just vitamins. And she was a nurse, so I trusted her. So I was like, oh, sure. Why not? I'll take energy anytime. I was taking 2 5-hour energies a day and a Red Bull, or 2 Red Bulls and a 5-hour energy a day. Like I took 2 naps a day, 20 minutes, one on my lunch break and one after work before I head to the football field. So I was constantly running on all this caffeine. Plus I would drink coffee in between. So energy for me was like, oh, however I can get it, just give it to me. So long story short, in my first 3 days, I was a day one thriver. Everybody's not a day one thriver. I was a day one thriver. I was never a customer. I immediately hit the promoter button and became a promoter. The first person I sampled was Tommy. I bought that $400 pack because they said, oh, it's enough for you to sample him. It's enough for you to thrive. And at the time, it came with extra product. It didn't come with mail out credits like it does now. But at the time, it just came with extra products. I was like, oh my gosh, I know so many football moms who need this. And that's just kind of how we got started. Tommy's experience was a little different. He started and he felt nothing until, Tommy, we always go back and forth. What day were you?
It was 6 days.
It was like day 8. I don't know. So we started, we both started our Thrive experience. He was a truck driver at the time. Full time. He was never home. So I felt like I was a single mom, 4 kids. He was always on the road. When he was home, he was tired. His joints and everything were achy. I don't know if you want to just tell a little bit on your experience, Tommy.
Yeah, sure. So like you said, I was always gone, truck driving, moving people cross country and all of that. So, and I've been doing that for 19 years. So, when she first brought this product to me or told me about it, I was like, yeah, okay, here we go. Another wife bringing a product in the house that's going to sit in the pantry, and I'm just going to keep kicking out money, every week or every month for it. And, I just happened to be home, I think, for a little bit at that time when she started. I think it was about around Christmas time. And I saw the change that it had on her in her first 3 days. And she didn't know it, but I was watching her so close when she started thriving. She took, that first day she got up, like she just seemed different. She just had that peaceful look on her face, smiling and just in a better mood or whatever. So I'm like, oh, okay, maybe, maybe she took a 5 hour, because, those things make you happy too. But it was like around the third day when she came home, and she came home from work, and she came in. I remember she came in, she went upstairs, changed her clothes, came back downstairs, turned the music on, started cooking or whatever. And I'm just watching her like, man, like she hasn't came and crashed on the couch in like 3 days. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on? So I said, hey, I'm like, if if we still had our gym membership, would you go to the gym? And she was like, Tommy, if we still had our gym membership, I would have went to the gym before I came home. And I was like, okay, all right, I at least got to try it. And unlike her, my experience was totally different. So she jumped out the window. She didn't tell you guys, she spent our light bill money on that promoter pack. So, yeah. I'm already looking at her like, you do know that was our light bill money, right? But she jumped out the window. She bought the promoter pack, and when it came in, I had enough for myself, and I didn't feel anything. I'll go with your thing, Q. I'll say 8 days. I didn't feel anything for almost a week, 8 days, a little over a week. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I'm glad you're feeling good. I'm glad you have all the energy, but I don't feel it. Like, you just spent all our money on this product and this junk. She was like, Tommy, keep taking it. Keep taking it. Around that 7th to 8th day, I remember waking up in the morning and I felt so good. And it wasn't even energy. Like, it were some days where Q would actually have to help me get out the bed in the morning. That's how bad it was. My joints, my hands would be so swollen that I couldn't wear my ring to bed at night. And she would have to help me get out the bed just to get up and get moving. And I remember that day like, okay, I can do this. Like, I feel really good. I will pay any amount of money not to feel like, how I used to feel. So, when people come at you guys with that, it's expensive. They don't know the value of this product. That's what they don't understand the value of this product. We've had Zooms today where, like, I'm even more confident now in what we have than I was before. Like, the stories that we're hearing lately, like, you can't tell me that this product doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot tell me that this product doesn't work. And it's been almost 4 years now, babe.
4 years.
4 years. We've been 4 years with this company. And we're just now really, we've always said, yeah, it works, but now, like, our confidence right now, you can't shake it. You can't shake it. And that's what I think, kind of going into how we were able to grow our business in the last few months is, like, we've had this unshakable confidence that, yes, there's a lot going on in the world, but we don't think about it. We know people still need this product. We know people still want to feel good. We know people still need energy. People are still needing to pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? So we don't come at it from a, nobody wants to spend money attitude type thing. We come at it like, okay, who else can we help? Who else needs, how can we help you get this VIP 800? Who do you know that we can help feel better? Who do you know that needs energy? What mom do you know that is stressing right now because she doesn't know how she's going to pay her light bill? So our mindset right now is at a whole nother level. I don't want to keep going, Q. I like to listen to you talk, but.
Oh, no, it's fine. No, just to piggyback off of what he said, for me, I think Tommy saw the vision of this business before I did. We went to Thrive Palooza. Back then it was called the Ultimate Party. And at that time, he was still, we walked into the ultimate party. He was more of the skeptic and I was the believer. And we walked out of there and I think he was more of the believer. And although I believed in it, I've toggled with it so much because you go through hard times and you go through slow periods and you're like, my gosh, is it worth it? Because you're putting all your time into it. You have to think, like, we have 4 kids, right? So we're juggling 4 children. I work full time. At the time, he was working full time. And when the decision was made, like when we came home and we saw that vision of just people who were younger than us walking up on stage, getting millionaire awards, and people who were like, just like me and just like you walking up on stage saying that they left their job that they went to college for and everything like that. That's when we came home and kind of made the decision like, okay, well, let's try to go at this full time. So Tommy was able to walk away from truck driving. He actually does this full time now. And recently, like he said, the stories that we hear, because you know, you go through a time where people are like, the first thing they say is, I can't afford it, or they don't see the value in it, or you get those people who say it's a pyramid scheme, or you know, MLMs don't work. And we all know Lavelle is a very, very special company. We know that, you know, we don't have to meet quotas. We don't have to hold parties. Of course, we have locals, but those are like party gatherings you would have at your house anyway. You know, you hear all of these things, and I used to let those things kind of get me like, oh, like I used to toggle with it. Like I knew it wasn't a pyramid scheme. I've always had confidence in what the product did for me. But then you get those people who do like sampling. For a while, I hated doing samples because some people would be like day one thrivers and they love Thrive. And then you get those other people where they go through that detox in the first 3 days and they're like, this doesn't work. It's making me sick. Oh, my arm is numb. And you know, they blame everything on Thrive when really it could be something underlying that they had wrong with them anyway. But lately, like he said, the stories that we have been hearing, I mean, there is nothing can happen that wouldn't make me believe in this product. And I think it took for me personally to get confidence in the product and to have like backbone to stand up for the product and what it's done for me and what I'm seeing it do for others before I was able to switch my mindset that there is no slow period. Just to tell you guys like a little something fun about Tommy and I, we are like really huge into vision boards. We're really huge into like speaking things into existence. And when Tommy hit 80K, he hit, for both of us, when we hit 40 and 80K. So when Tommy hit 40K, it was Christmas time. It was Christmas time, and you know, same thing. This is COVID right now. It's a slow period. Christmas time seems to be a slow period for some people. So when he hit 40K around Christmas time, we were like, oh my gosh, we hit 40K. A week later, we hit, was it a week or 2 weeks?
A week later.
A week later, he hit 80K, and it was Christmas time. And so that was the first time we were like, there is no slow period. There's no slow period in Lavelle. You just have to have the mindset. You have to have the backbone, and you have to not let your mind think that there's ever a slow period. This time when I hit 80K, I hit 40K last month for the first time ever. I've never been close to 40K, ever. I've been 12K, holding on to 12K, just barely touching 12K every single month. And I just really had to switch my mindset. Like, we had a couple of women come in. I heard a couple of stories. The one that hit me the most recently, the woman, when she was telling me her story, she said that she prayed on her knees, God, show me a reason to stay here. Show me a reason to live. And that's when she started seeing Lavelle and Thrive in her timeline. And she started as a Thriver, and she's new on my team or whatever. But when you hear stories like that, I mean, there is nothing anybody can say or do to tell me that this product doesn't work. And now I always approach a new person coming at me like, I have what you need. They have to want the change. Like, you can't convince people that they need change. You can't you can't tell people they need to take vitamins. Like, I never took vitamins before Thrive. The last time I took vitamins was when I was a kid taking Flintstone Kids. So if you're even talking to people who don't take vitamins, you can't give them a reason why they need vitamins. We are really big on constantly sharing our story. We share what the product is doing for us, and that's all I have my team do. I tell them to share their story and don't do anything else. Don't give anybody ingredients. Don't try to convince anybody. And when you show people that you believe in this product and that you really feel like you have gold in your hands, there's nothing else that, you know, you're unstoppable. You just feel unstoppable. Sometimes you have to feel success, and sometimes you have to feel like you have the only thing that everybody needs in order for it to happen. So last month when I hit 40, I was like, Tommy, I want 80K next month. And he was like, well, write it down. So I wrote it on my mirror, and I was just like, I really, really want it. I don't know. I don't even know today how we did it, but last month I hit 80K. I mean, last month was like 3 days ago, 4 days ago. 3-4 days ago, we hit our team. We did 80K. And I have to tell you, it's the first time I have ever hit a rank. Because even when I hit 40, it was just like 40. Like, oh, we made it. It is the first time I have ever hit a rank, and it is solid. Like, I'm already on track for my 80K. And I think it's because of my mindset. I think it's because of, I've talked to my team, like, you have to really bulletproof your mind. You really have to approach this business like you have what other people need. You cannot let times like even COVID, and I hate to say that because we're not supposed to say COVID and Thrive, but you cannot let times like this tell you that you can't grow your business. This is the perfect time to grow your business because, one, you have something that is going to make people feel good. You know, I have people always coming to me now saying, like, you're the only positive thing in my timeline. So if you're showing up on your news feed and you're showing up to your network as the only positive one, they're going to want to know what is keeping you so happy, what is keeping you, you know, so positive. And I mean, that's all we do is we just share a story. You know, we constantly like stay positive. We don't mention COVID at all. Like, I don't even mention the pandemic. Like, when I see somebody whining about that in the timeline, I drop a little positive thing underneath them, and then I keep it moving. Like, I don't even watch the news. I don't do anything. Like, I really, really, really do protect my mind. Because I'm one that if I watch news, if I watch any of that stuff, read the stories, then I'll go right down. Like, I can't take it. So I think staying positive and just keeping the mindset that I have what people need has drawn people to us. Stacey, I know you said you wanted to ask questions too. I don't want to keep babbling. I can talk too. He can talk and I can talk. You have to cut us off, girl.
Well, no, I love it so much. And y'all, you know, I know that you meditate as well and you do vision boards, and I am so big on manifesting. I was just talking about how I don't know how I manifested this new customer I just got, but my friend Nicole and I don't know if she's on tonight. She said, you know, I'd really like to hear a story of someone that's been in the business for a while and all of a sudden hit a huge promotion. So for you guys to be in for 4 years, you went 40K in March, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then in April, like, that is amazing. And you know, you two are like relationship goals. Swear to God, I was watching your did this morning, and she goes, I think the only 2 people watching me right now, I forget the girl's name, she goes,
Bethany.
watching her do a live, and I'm like, y'all, the support you have for each other is so amazing. And anyway, Wind Down Wednesday, and they're the cutest ever, and it's just cool to have that support for each other. But to hear, you know, on the last Wind Down Wednesday I hopped on that you guys were doing, Tommy talked a lot about discipline, and you guys talked a lot about, you know, getting mad after that GOAT training. And I forget the guy's name, you know, but he took making a decision. And so do you think that you know, had a big part in it, like having, you know, your vision board and just making that decision and keeping your eye on the prize, not getting distracted with what's going on in the world and just saying like, I'm doing this thing.
Yes, I think I'm going to let Tommy talk, but I think that it's funny because I tell my team all the time, like we tell our team all the time, it's a decision. You know, it really truly is a decision, because you can think of 1,000 reasons of why you cannot do this business and why you cannot get a sale, or you can tell yourself 1,000 reasons why you can. And you can remind yourself 1,000 reasons of why you do this, you know? So it's all on perspective, and it's all on, yes, making a decision. And I tell them all the time, it's a decision, it's a decision. But when Rodney Foster says it's a decision, everybody wants to make the decision. So sometimes hearing it from someone else.
That's the way it goes, though. You know, it's like mom tells you, like, don't run out in the street, don't run out in the street or whatever. And then the second one other person says it, it's like, oh, maybe I should run out in the street. So sometimes, too, you have to have another voice that is giving that validation. Like, oh, yeah, I guess maybe I need to make a decision. So do you feel like collectively as a team, they heard that and they were like, let's just finish this month and do this thing?
I think the GOAT training was huge for our team, because a lot of them were on, and, you know, Rodney did fire a lot of people up. But we've been preaching, you know, vision boards. Like, you guys, if you do not have a vision board, and if you do have a vision board, if you are not looking at that vision board every single day, multiple times a day, then you're missing out. Like, you have to know what you're running for. You have to know what goals you have. You have to see them all the time. Like, right, I'm sitting on this is my wife's nightstand, her vision board. It's the first thing she sees when she wakes up. Mine is on my nightstand. When I turn over to grab my capsules, it's the first thing I see. So I'm making that decision every single morning. When I grab those capsules, I see the house that we want. I see the ranks that we want. I see the little things that we want for our family. And that'll get you through the hard times. That'll get you through anything that goes on in your life. It's like, okay, I know what I'm doing this for. Like, because trust me, we've had those sucky moments, like, to where we were like, okay, is this even worth it? Is it even worth it? Like, we have 4 kids. Like, I was neglecting the kids because I'm so focused on trying to build this business.
Yeah, they haven't done schoolwork since they've been out. Like, my kids have not done they haven't done any school. Like, maybe for like the first week.
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Summer's coming. It's a great summer for them. It's going to be a great summer. We'll start over.
They've been on summer break since school ended. And here's the thing. And I mean, it sounds really bad, but here's the thing. It's like, okay, so I still work my full-time job, and Tommy's home, and this is his full-time job, and we've grown, of course, a lot. And so I'd call Tommy, and I'm like, are they doing their schoolwork? And he's like, I don't know, I've been on my phone all day. And I'm like, they've got to do their schoolwork. But here's the thing. I have a senior going to college this year. How will I pay for that? Not with my 9 to 5 that they've tremendously cut my hours. This week is the first week I'll be going to work. We are getting out early and we're not getting paid. And, you know, when I first came into this business and I tried to talk my girlfriends into doing this with me, because, you know, in the beginning you get excited. You're like, yeah, I've got girlfriends. I'm going to get them on. We're going to be the girl gang, squad up, you know, and they're all like, I have a job. I have a career. I have this. And these are the same people who are getting laid off. These are the same people getting their hours cut. These are the same people like scrounging out. Oh my gosh, they're all in the unknown. And while all those people, even my coworkers, are in the unknown, I'm like, please let me leave early so I can go run my business that's going to take care of my family full time, you know? So, I mean, that right there is even more of a decision to run as hard and as fast as you can right now, because one, we're in the perfect position. People need to get healthy and they need to get wealthy, and their 9 to 5s are not going to cut it. You know, I work in a doctor's office and I'm still getting my hours cut. I work for endocrinologist now, but that's still essential. Diabetes, I mean, they can't go without their meds, and they can't have things refilled if they're not seen. And so even with video visits, we're still getting our hours cut. Even with physicians' offices, they're getting their hours cut because they can't do physicals. So, I mean, this is even more reason why I'm like, thank God I never gave up. You know, had I given up, had I quit, I don't know what we would do right now, especially since Tommy walked away from his job to do this full time. I mean, we'd be in a really tough situation right now if it wasn't for Lavelle. And with us growing, we're looking at it as a blessing, because while most, like I said, are getting cut from their careers and their jobs, we're still growing and we're still able to take care of our family. And not only that, we have enough to put some away as well. So guys, I'm telling you, this is the perfect time to explode in this business. This is the perfect time to get mad, make a decision that this is what you're going to do. And I'm not saying walk away from your job, because I haven't walked away from mine, and I'm not going to until they tell me I can't come back. But I can tell you, last week when they said we need to cut 8 hours, who can be off, I was the first one to raise my hand. Because I'd rather do this. I actually feel like I'm making a change. I'm making an impact. Well, I mean, for goodness sake, when someone tells you that they prayed for something, so prayed for a reason to stay on this earth, and they have a home with a husband and a beautiful 3-year-old daughter, and they're thinking about ending that life, and then something like this comes across their way, and we can't make medical claims. I'm not making any medical claims, but when something like this crosses their path and they have a whole new outlook on life, you know you have gold. Like, you have gold. You have something in your hands that even the uneducated people who don't know about this yet, even the people who don't realize that it's not a pyramid scheme, every time, I just hung up with another Zoom and I told them, I said, every time someone comes at you confrontational, that it's a pyramid scheme, that it doesn't work, just keep in your head, bless your heart, I have to educate you now. And just share the things that it's doing for you. You know, don't let it get you down. You know, that's all you can say. And that's how I look at it now. I'm not going to lie, in the beginning, it would make me mad. I'm like, oh, they're so stupid. Like, how can they not see this is good? Like, and I don't look at it like that anymore. I'm like, oh, I have to teach them now. Like, oh, bless your heart. Let me educate you a little, you know, and where I hated sampling, I'm telling you now, guys, sampling is key. Sampling is gold. You know, I used to not be a big fan. I used to have a love-hate relationship with sampling. Now I love sampling. I try to sample as many people as I can in the beginning of the month. Like, get people sampled, get the product in their bodies, because you know what that does? It changes their mindset. It changes their mindset, whether they are detoxing or not. It still changes their mindset, because you just prep them. I don't know, do you guys do 3-way chats and calls and stuff like that? Okay, so we do too. Really strong on 3-way calls and 3-way chats. We set them up ahead of time and just give them those expectations. Listen, this is not for you to feel anything in the first 3 days. This is just for you to see how easy it is. And when they try it, they're wowed because the product works. You know, I'll say 8 out of 10 people are day one thrivers. Those are my own little numbers. 8 out of 10 people are day one thrivers, you know? Tommy, were you going to say something?
Maybe.
Oh, go ahead. You know, I'll go on and on and on.
I know, but I like to listen. I love listening to you talk. But yeah, guys, you know, you do have to bulletproof your mind, make that decision, and just know that you're doing good. That's another thing. Like, you have to know that you are out here doing good. You're not out here taking somebody's last dollar to put into your bank account. You're not out here ripping people off. Like, you are life changers. Life changers. Like, you're not just, oh, I got a product that'll make you lose weight. No, you are changing someone's life. Like, that's a powerful statement. And I don't think a lot of people realize that that's what we do. We change someone's life. Like, we are enhancing someone's life. For someone, I've been this way for a long time, because I know what it feels like to not be able to get out the bed without help. Like, I know that feeling. And so for somebody to come at me and say, man, that product don't work, you don't know what I know. Like, I know how my wife used to have to come and help me get out the bed so I can walk around. I know I could barely make a fist in the morning because my hands were so swollen. I know I would work 14-hour days and come home, crash on the couch, get up and have to do it again the next day. So for me, like, this changed my life. Like, so I know what it's going to, they don't know what it's going to do for them yet, but I do. You know, Paul says it all the time. Like, they just don't know. Get this product. Don't be the salesperson. Do not try to sell this product, because there's so many people on social media right now. If you scroll through your social media, I guarantee you every 4 to 6 posts that you see is going to be a sponsored ad. And then in between those sponsored ads is going to be somebody else promoting another business, promoting another product, promoting something that they do. So how do we stand out? How do we stand out from all of that white noise? And that's by sharing your story. That's by talking about what this product is doing for you. That's by connecting with somebody on your timeline. Q says it all the time. Somebody on your timeline is the old version of you. Think about that. Somebody on your timeline is the old version of you. And the more you share your story, the more people you're going to connect with. So that's all I got, Q.
I cannot wait to rewatch this, because I see Kendra taking notes and I'm jealous, but I'm just trying to stay focused because I get excited and nervous and then I forget what I'm going to ask. But, you know, first, like, how are you guys getting samples into brand new people's hands? And second, I feel like, you know, I was definitely stalking out both your pages today so that I had some good questions to ask you. And I noticed a lot of Q saying, like, when I really started to be my truest authentic self is when things really started to change for us. So will you talk a little bit about that too? Because I feel like sometimes we're kind of looking left and right and like, well, this person's doing it that way and maybe I need to do it that way. So talk about that. And then will you also tell us how you're getting samples into new people's hands, please?
Sure. So yes, being your authentic self. So I know what it's like. You see that thriver and they're so successful and you're like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? You know, and I know I went through that. I went through that, like, oh, maybe if I post this way, maybe if I post that way, you know, and Tommy and I have always been first of all, we were never even social media people before we started thriving. But once we realized that all we had to do was share our story, because we started in the beginning, thrive, and we lost followers, we lost our friends and everything like that. So then you get to a point where you're like, well, what am I doing wrong? And you start looking at other thrivers and you start doing similar posts, like, oh, maybe copy paste, like, oh, make it my own. But here's the thing. My team started to do the same thing. Which was really frustrating, because I would see a post from them and I would know it wasn't their authentic self. I look at it this way. If I am acting like that other person, I'm going to get a whole bunch of people gravitate towards me that I don't even like, because it's not me. So I preach to my team all the time, like, when you are yourself, your people will come. If you are acting like someone else, you're going to draw the wrong people. And, you know, I have a love-hate with that saying, a love-hate relationship with that saying, you can sit with us, because I feel like everybody can't sit with you. You want your people sitting at your table. You don't want someone that you have you can't relate to them. They can't relate to you, or maybe they're negative and, you know, they're attracted to you because you're being someone that you're not. You don't want those people. So I always tell my team, like, if you're crazy, be crazy on your timeline. You know, if you like, you know, be yourself, share yourself, because the people who really know you will know that you're showing up as yourself, and the people who you can relate to will gravitate you. And that's how you find your tribe. That's how you find your girl gang or your team. You know, it's just by showing up as your authentic self. And you know, I went through a period where I felt like every picture had to be perfect and everything had to be like set a certain way, but it's not me. I am a perfectionist. Don't get me wrong. I am a perfectionist, but I don't try to post perfect for other people. So when I started just being myself, people who can relate to me, people who have things in common with me. Those are the people who started to come. And I think that is also maybe how my team started to grow so much, because I had one-on-one Zooms with my girls, and I'm like, look, tell me your struggles. Like, you need to be yourself. Like, that post is not you. This is not you. Like, this is you, you know? So I did one-on-one Zooms with them, and I challenged them all, because I'm going to tell you how I started to grow, how I went 40K. I had one-on-one Zooms with every one on my team, the ones that were active and actually interested in doing the business. And I challenged them to go live every day. And I said, go live every day. It does not have to be about Thrive. It can be about like something you're going through. Just talk about anything. Like, you can make your shake in it every morning. Like, whatever you want to do, go live about something, being yourself. And I said, I want you to do it for 1 week, and then we will revisit a week from now and see, because they were really struggling with people following them. They were struggling with people they were wanting people reaching out to them, asking them, but nobody was. You know, everybody looks at their likes, which to me, people watch you all the time. They're never gonna, some people, you encourage and influence people that you don't even know that you're encouraging and influencing, because they don't like a post, they don't, comment, they're just watching you. And so the first 2 girls that actually took my advice, because none of them took my advice except for 2 of them, all of a sudden exploded. They started having people reach out to them, asking them about their lifestyle mix, asking them, what they were doing, reaching out, just saying, oh my gosh, you're so positive. Thank you for being the one positive person in my news feed. And from there, they started to grow. And so it's very, very important for me to tell, like, whoever comes in, be yourself. Just be yourself. Of course, be professional. Don't be out there, acting all crazy, like negative and stuff like that. But be yourself. Like, I'm big on stay away from like anything confrontational, religion and politics. Like, you're not in a place where some of the people who are at the top can talk about that and still be successful. Stay away from that in your timeline. Be someone neutral, stay positive, but be yourself, and your people will come. As far as samples, how we're doing that is we run a Duck Duck Goose game. So we have a customer page, and we have all of our team, and they invite their customers into this group, and it is just a customer experience page. And we run a Duck Duck Goose every Monday at like 8 or 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And that's how we get samples out. So a group of us leaders, like it's run with our 200K, and we rotate who's going to send out the 6. And that's how we get samples out as a team. As individually, my girls are doing Duck Duck Goose on their own personal pages. Some of them are doing tired mom. Like, they switch it up, like Wednesday something, but they're doing games. So they're running samples for free with games. Other than that, they are selling them. We sell our samples 3 days for $25. If it's a sale, they're $5 a day. But that's like how a lot of them are growing, is just sampling. Like, they're trying to get as many samples out as they can. We don't present the sample up at first. We do try to get them to go ahead and invest in the full 30 days, because everybody's not a 3-day thriver or 1-day thriver. But if someone is really skeptical, like, I really just want to give it a shot first, they have to run fully through our funnel first. And once they go all the way through the funnel, then they get the sample. Tommy, how else?
Yeah.
Can you think of
what
else?
So a good thing that I've been having success with is, if you guys have customers that are loving their Thrive experience, sample their friends. Sample their friends. If you have a new person in VIP, or a person that's, running for VIP, and maybe they bought the $200 pack, or they don't have the money to get a $400 pack. If you're in a position to sample, or if you have the samples, sample their friends. Tell them to bring me 3 people. They have to get signed up with a free account. Like she said, we have our customer page, so they have to get in our customer page and watch the video. They have to, Yeah, watch the video, and they have to get into a group chat or on a phone call with one of the leaders before they get this sample. And you know, I do give a lot of samples away for free. Q, she's like, I'm selling mine because nobody's wasting my stuff. But I'm like, if they run through that funnel,
they have to run through the funnel.
They have to run through the funnel. If they do not go through the funnel, they do not get the sample. You know, because you can kind of weed out who's serious about it. If they're like, okay, I did this. If they're like, okay, I'll look at the video later, or okay, I'll do whatever later, then okay, then you just don't get the sample. But sampling your customers' friends and family, like if they're loving their Thrive experience, come say, hey, put me in a group chat with 2 of your people. This is what I want you to do. I want you to put me in a group chat with me, you, and 2 of your friends. When you get in a group chat, I just want you to say, hey, you guys, I created this group chat. My friend Tommy said I can pick 2 people to sample of this product that I've been using, and give a quick, short testimony of what Thrive has done for them. Like, I've been taking this for 2 weeks, or I've been taking this for 3 weeks. I've been sleeping better. I've been, had all the energy. Just talk about what it's done for them really quick and turn it over to you. And you can like, listen, guys, I told her she can pick 2 people. I would love for you guys to experience this. If they've gone all the way through the funnel, like send me your emails and addresses or whatever, and I'll get these sent out to you. Now, I don't know do you guys have a customer page?
We do, and this is the craziest. I just have to say this, y'all, the universe is winking at me left and right, because wanting to, have an interview with someone like you guys, and then Kendra and I were actually, after you guys got off, going to talk about our VIP customer group. And so, like, you guys just transitioning right to that, we just looked at each other like, wow, this is so actually things we were going to talk about on this meeting tonight was how to better utilize that group, and some things that we're going to have, going on in the group. And I see Kendra taking notes, so I'm sure we'll be doing that duck, duck, goose thing. And we just started a thing last week where we're doing a weekly drawing for a plus line product. But is your funnel free customer account? Obviously the 3-way chat, they put you in that. And then
so I'll break it down for you really quick. So I call it the blueprint.
We call it the blueprint.
It's getting the free account, adding them into the private group, tagging them. We have the video that Lavelle has, the What is Thrive video, or Have You Heard of Thrive?
It's the pin post.
It's the pin post. It's the announcement up on the page. That's the first thing anybody sees when they come into the page. They have to go into the group, and they have to watch that video. After that, follow up with them and get them in a 3-way chat or a 3-way phone call with somebody. Because, human curiosity, when most people get into a customer group and they watch that video, they're going to look around to see other people's testimonies and other people's experiences and other people's results. It's just human nature. So when you follow up with them again later on that evening or the next day and say, hey, did you get a chance to check out that video? They might have questions like, yes, it looks really interesting, but can I take this if I'm on some type of medicine, or can I take this if I have high blood pressure? And that gives you the perfect opportunity to create that group chat or create that 3-way phone call. Like, you guys, that customer group,
it's gold.
It is gold. Like, it will blow your business up in ways that you can't even imagine. And It is so easy to use. Like, now this is what I talk about. This is my baby. He loves
So we've had it for like, what, a year or two, Tommy?
About 3 years. 2 years.
We've had it for 2 years. We started out as a challenge group, a squat challenge way back when. And the squat challenge exploded, and we were trying to figure out how to add Thrive into it. And it wasn't until this year that we were like, you know what, forget it. It's going to be a Thrive customer page. That's just what we're doing, because we didn't think we were allowed to have these customer pages and groups. And then we talked to our 200K and our other uplines, and we were like, let's just do it and see what happens. So we were like really low key with it at first, and it exploded. Like, our last Duck Duck Goose game had 900 comments. Like, yeah, it's just, you know, and so that is a big part of our funnel. Is like, you have to add them to the customer page, like add them to the customer page, because the testimonies in there are amazing.
Yep. So, and the way that, and Stacey, we can, talk about it more if you guys want, just to kind of help you guys get it running up. Because if you run the page a certain way, it allows fresh stories to constantly come in. So that's what, like, we give 6 samples away every single Monday, because we know that that's 6 new people starting on a Thrive experience, a mini experience, but they have to post about it in a group, and they have to, just share what their testimony is. So most people, they do that willingly because they feel amazing. So if you're constantly, if you guys all as a team just added your customers that are currently thriving into that group, and just get them to add 3 of their friends into the group, your group is going to grow very fast. So now if you have your customers in there and they know they're loving the product, and you guys are giving away 3 or 6 3-day mini experiences every Monday, they're going to be wanting to add all of their friends to get in there and get that free sample. But at the same time, it's going to be whoever wins, they're constantly going to be posting results. They're constantly going to be talking about how good they feel on day 1, on day 3. Like, we've had so many people be like, okay, I'm out of my sample, I got to order.
And it gives them a level of comfort, like, to where, yes, you know how when you get a new Thriver and you're trying to get them to, like, share on their page, for some reason in the group, they'll share with no problem. You don't even have to ask them. So it starts giving that level of comfort to share in a private place, and then eventually they'll go on their page on their own and do it. We do have it set up secret so that we can see who is adding to the group, because if it's not a secret group, then you can't see who added who, and that's when you get chaos, like, oh, that's my customer, no, that's my customer. Whoever comments like I'm ready in the group, it's like we can look up and see who added them to the group, and then we direct them back to that person.
Yeah. And we also do every Friday, like, we actually run it like a small Lavelle fan page.
We have Flex Friday.
We have Flex,
and we give a gift.
Every Friday we have Flex Friday, and the winner wins a plus line pack.
Yes.
Of goodies.
If you scroll on my page today, one of the girls actually tagged me on my own page. Sage, I don't know if you can see it. She's holding up the plus line pack that we sent her. Did you see that? So she won that in the group as Flex Friday. Yeah. So we run Flex Friday every Friday. A new winner. Friday. We tell them, drop your Flex Friday. The next winner will be chosen. And it kind of opens their eyes to the plus line products.
Yeah, that's so brilliant. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys so much. I do want to give Kendra's our 200K, and I want to give her an opportunity to just ask you guys any questions she has, and then we'll probably just be done with this at 10. You guys, we just want to keep you all for an hour, so I'm gonna mute myself so Kendra can chat with you guys too.
No problem. I don't have any questions for you guys, but I just want to, more than anything, commend the 2 of you for figuring it out and just putting your head down and making it happen, because so many people will get in their own way and get in their own head and say, this isn't for me, maybe this isn't the right time, and you guys just both buckled down together and just made it happen. And I just loved hearing your story, and I have a couple of pages of notes, just because sometimes you just need to hear it again. You just need to hear it one more time, and every time you get to converse and engage with other like-minded people, there's always things that stick out and resonate. But I guess leave us tonight with your biggest tip or just thought, really, that you guys want to leave with everybody. And goodness, I'm just so blessed to get to know you guys. And Q, that's so fun. That's what we call my son. His name's Quincy, so we call him Q. Really? And so I was like, Q, perfect. But thank you for being on. So welcome. Just share anything from the heart and leave us, and we'll wrap this up.
Tommy, you want to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. So, what I will say is, you have to, every day you have to put something positive in your mind in the morning. I think that's the biggest thing that has helped me keep going, you know, in rough times. Like, I have a favorite. I hope you guys all have like a favorite YouTube video that you watch that you don't mind watching over and over and over. I have one, and if you don't know who he is, his name is Les Brown. And if you go on YouTube, I'm going to give you guys my secret sauce. This is my secret sauce. If you guys go on YouTube, he has a video called, I think it's called Les Brown. The name of the video is called I'm the One. And I swear, I listened to this YouTube video over and over and over and over again when we first got started. And you have to kind of, because it does have music within it, you have to kind of tune out the music and just listen to what he's saying. And you have to know that this is going to work. You have to know that you were put into this position to be successful. You have to know that no matter what happens, if your lights we know our lights have been cut off. Our gas has been cut off. Our car has been repossessed. But I knew like my name is Tommy, that we were going to make this work. So you have to wake up every single day with that determination, saying, no matter what happens, I'm going to make this happen. No matter what happens in my life, I'm going to make this happen. If you have that attitude and you have that mental toughness, you will be successful with this business. I promise you that. If you wake up every day and just put something in your mind that makes you say, you know what, I'm making it happen. No matter what happens in my life, I'm going to make it happen. It'll happen for you. Go ahead, Q.
I just want to say, always be your authentic self and don't try to recreate the wheel. Whatever the funnel it is that you guys use, whatever the system is, don't try to make it different. Use what you have. We have all the tools we need, but just use them and be yourself. It's great to find an idea. It's great to watch sidelines and other teams and get ideas from them, because I do it. I get ideas, but I make them my own. Like, when you can find ideas and make them your own and show up as yourself, then you're being like, no one can be you. And I mean, that's true. Your power, like, you have superpower within you. Don't be afraid to walk that path, because showing up as your authentic self will bring you the people that you need, and, you know, it'll make you walk the path that you're supposed to walk. Just be yourself. That's all I can say, is be yourself. Like, it took me a long time to just be myself, and be yourself, know your vision, and walk your path. And that's all I got.
Guys, so much. We're so honored to have you and to hear your story. And you have no idea just how everything just came together that we wanted to talk about. And I just appreciate so much, and that we got to meet in Jamaica. Hopefully,
I know. We were meant to meet. This was meant to be.
You were. And you know, my friend April is not a Thriver, but she still talks about you guys and how she's like, those people were so awesome. And I'm like, I know, right? So,
we were so intoxicated. It was so much fun though. It's funny because when you got your new car and it hit the Labelle page, I was like, oh, that's my friend from Jamaica. And then Tommy always uses your story, and I'm like, that's my friend from Jamaica. And so tonight I was like, we're gonna do Stacy's Zoom, and he's like, who's that? I'm like, the lady with the Audi. And he's like, oh, I know who she is.
So funny, because when Tommy was talking earlier about vision boards, my Audi is 100% a product of my vision board. I used to stand in front of my vision board every day and look at that Audi, and I'd visualize myself driving it. When I was in my car driving, I would pretend like I was driving the Audi. So the power of vision boards is just like...
See? Mine too, though. Tommy, grab my vision board really quick. That 80K on my vision board, I put that there when I went 40K.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I put a date next to mine too, and there's
It works.
there's no way I should have got my Audi when I did, but that date was in my head that it was going to happen, and it did. The stars aligned, and it was beautiful how it all happened. I didn't even tell anybody other than Kendra and our friend Jerica, because I was so scared that the bottom was going to fall out, and it happened. And everyone was like, what? We didn't even know you were thinking about that. And I'm like, I wasn't. It just happened. It was beautiful.
I'm telling you, put your dreams in front of you, and
Yes.
the way the universe shifts to make those things happen for you it's amazing. It's amazing.
I got one more thing, you guys, because we're talking about vision boards and all of that, keeping things in front of you. What do you see the most? Like, what do you look at the most? Can anybody drop it in the chat? What do you look at the most? Your phone.
Yep.
Exactly. Exactly. If you do not have something that you want, whether it be a new rank, a house, car, whatever, as your screensaver or your lock screen, do it. I have a picture of myself with a big 200K sign in front of me as my lock screen. And every time I open my phone, I see it. Like, I can see myself walking up on stage to hold that banner. Like it's so clear. Like, I can see it. Like, I can hear the crowd. I know what I'm wearing. I can see Paul and Jake. Like, I can see it. So you have to see it, guys. You have to see it before it happens. My black Escalade. That's my girl. Who said Escalade? What?
Oh,
I don't
God.
have one yet, but I'm going to get it.
Yes, and last thing, always share your story. Sometimes we stop sharing our story because we think everybody has heard it. Always share your story. Always share your story, and know your team stories, and get those stories out there. And that's it. I'm not going to say anything else.
Well, thank you guys so much. I think we'll go ahead and end the Zoom. Kendra, is that cool? Okay. I think we got so much info from this tonight. We appreciate you guys so much. I love you to death. I hope that we all get to see each other in California. I don't know if that's happening. But thanks so much. We appreciate you all taking some time from your
Thank you. Thanks, guys. It was great being on.
Yes. Bye, guys.